Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. It is Thursday, January 12th at 2 p.m. and we are here for our regular commission business meeting. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. Present in the hearing room, we have Commissioner Justin Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Carol Lee Williams, Commissioner Caston, Chair Belser, and with us virtually we have Commissioner Irvin. Would you please join me for a moment of silent reflection before we begin the meeting? Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Scarborough.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, and Vice Chair Powers and Commissioners. First order of business is to set the next commission business meeting. Staff recommends that the next regularly scheduled meeting be held Wednesday, January the 18th, 2023 at 4 p.m.
We will hold our next business meeting at a rescheduled time of Wednesday, January 18th at 4 p.m.
Thank you, ma'am. Today we have 16 items on our utilities agenda and 15 items on the transportation agenda. Item number 1 on the utilities agenda is in docket number 2014-216C, which is the request for approval of the 4th and 5th amendments to the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications, LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and Peerless Network of South Carolina, LLC.
Commissioners, with regard to agenda item 1, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion, please.
Vice Chair Powers?
Thank you very much. I move the Commission approve the 4th and 5th Amendment to the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications, LLC, doing business as AT&T South Carolina, and Peerless Network of South Carolina, LLC. So move.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin? Commissioner Irvin, we didn't heard you that time. Thank you. Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 2 is in dockets numbered 1997-224C and 2021-336C. This is the request of United Telephone Company of the Carolinas, LLC, doing business as CenturyLink, to amend its Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity to read Brightspeed of South Carolina, LLC, without notice or hearing.
With regard to utilities agenda item 2, Commissioners, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the Commission approve the request of United Telephone Company of the Carolinas, LLC, doing business as CenturyLink, to amend its Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity to read Brightspeed of South Carolina, LLC, without notice or hearing.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is in docket number 2022-406C, which is a motion by EarthGrid PBC, doing business as EarthGrid PBC Corporation, for confidential treatment of certain portions of Exhibit C of its application, as well as the appointment of a hearing officer in this docket.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item 3 as described by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the Commission grant the request of EarthGrid PBC, doing business as EarthGrip PBC Corporation, for confidential treatment of certain portions of Exhibit C of its application. I further move that the Commission appoint Mr. David Stark as hearing examiner in docket number 2022-406C.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
I'd like to just ask if it might be that this is EarthGrid PBC doing business as EarthGrid PBC Corporation.
I thought that's what the commissioner moved.
I heard it.
I think he said GRIP, but it's supposed to be
Okay.
grid. Yes, ma'am.
I thought he
You're correct.
changed.
Yes, I accept that correction.
Okay, Earth Grid.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 4 is in docket number 2022-405C. Staff presents for commission consideration the appointment of a hearing examiner in docket number 2022-405C.
With regard to agenda item 4 as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission appoint Ms. Alicia Clausen as the hearing examiner in docket number 2022-405C.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 5 appears in docket number 2022-371EG. This is Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's application for approval to implement a prepay program, along with a request for waiver of notice and hearing.
Commissioners, with regard to agenda item 5, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission request that Dominion Energy South Carolina provide clarification in its application or written explanation as to the following questions no later than January 20th, 2023. How will the delay of the installation of AMI meters due to the microchip shortages affect the rollout of the program? How is the customer data managed in mobile applications? Will a third-party contractor be used to manage prepay data? Will special weather and holiday exemptions still apply to disconnections? Please clarify the number of days to be allowed before disconnection to be either business days or calendar days. What is the anticipated enrollment rate that Dominion is using for its soft launch and later on for its rollout? What is the anticipated time period before the rollout is extended to relevant existing customers? What program costs are expected? Can the company provide a summary report after 12 months of operation detailing the program status? And please identify which customer payment options include transaction fees. I so move, and Chair Belzer, I'd like to make a quick comment as well.
We've heard the motion. We'll go now to discussion, and I recognize Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. I think that this program is likely to have a great benefit to customers who may have some challenges with payment, and it's a good alternative that's available, that will be available digitally, but it just felt to be too many questions to approve it right away. So the intention of the questions and the timeline is to provide some quick turnaround to be able to get this program out as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, any further discussion?
Madam Chair,
Vice Chair Powers?
Commissioner Williams, seems like in several dockets, I keep hearing some reason for changes, the war in Ukraine. Nobody has quantified that in any manner whatsoever. Would you accept some sort of addition to your, I don't know exactly how I want the question phrased, but a question that addresses the economic impact of the war of Ukraine.
Vice Chair Powers, while I appreciate that question, I think I would not like to add that as a friendly amendment to this particular motion, which is to a very specific program. I think it's a really good question, but I would, if you're offering as a friendly amendment, I think I will tell you I'll support that question in the right place in another location.
Well, help me find the right place.
Yes.
I question the germaneness on this motion, Vice Chair, so, as it stands, we'll proceed with the motion as given, as made, excuse me. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye as well, and and also say that I think that this program has great benefit for customers, and it is voluntary. And while I might be inclined to go ahead and approve it, I certainly want commissioners to have the information that they want to feel comfortable with a decision. So the motion carries. Thank you.
Item number 6 is in docket number 2022-299E. This is the application of Duke Energy Progress LLC for approval of a modification to its existing Energy Wise for Business program.
With regard to utilities agenda item 6, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission approve Duke Energy Progress LLC's DEP's request to modify its existing Energy Wise for Business program. The purpose of the modification is to provide an additional incentive for customers under a new bring your own kilowatt option. I note that the Office of Regulatory Staff filed a letter in this docket on December the 20th, 2022, stating that it reviewed DEP's filing and does not object to the company's request to modify its existing Energy Wise for Business program. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas on agenda item 6. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 7 is in docket number 2022-298E, which is the application of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for approval of a modification to its Energy Wise for Business program.
With regard to agenda item 7, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission approve Duke Energy Carolina LLC's DEC request to modify its existing Energy Wise for Business program. The purpose of the modification is to provide an additional incentive for customers under a new bring your own kilowatt option. I note that the Office of Regulatory Staff filed a letter in this docket on December the 20th, 2022, stating that it reviewed the filing and does not object to the company's request to modify its existing Energy Wise for Business program. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, with regard to Commissioner Thomas's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 8 is in docket number 2022-9E. These are motions for admission pro hoc vici of Dorothy E. Jaffe, Esquire, and Justin T. Somolowski, Esquire, filed on behalf of the Sierra Club.
With regard to item 8, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, do I hear a motion? Do I hear a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion, Madam Chair.
Vice Chair Powers,
Move the commission grant the motion to Sierra Club for admission Pro Hoc Vici, Dorothy E. Jaffe, Esquire, and Justin T. Somolowski, Esquire.
Vice Chair Powers, could you pull the microphone a little bit closer and make your motion again?
apologize.
They're not hearing you in the back.
I move that the commission grant the motion of Sierra Club for admission Pro Hoc Vici of Dorothy E. Jaffe, Esquire, and Justin T. Somolowski, Esquire, and would apologize to Mr. Somolowski if I pronounce his name wrong.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 9 appears in dockets numbered 2022-93E and 2022-97E. This is a request by the South Carolina Forestry Commission to be removed as a party of record in these two dockets.
Commissioners, we've heard item 9 identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Chair Belzer,
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of the South Carolina Forestry Commission to be removed from docket numbers 2022-93-E and 2022-97-E. South Carolina Code Annotated 58-33-122 requires an application filed under the Utility Facility Siting and Environmental Protection Act to be served on numerous entities, including the head of each state and local government agency charged with the duty of protecting the environment or of planning land use in the area of the county in which any portion of the facility is to be located. The South Carolina Forestry Commission was served with the application as required by the statute. However, the South Carolina Forestry Commission did not file to intervene in the docket as a party of record. It is appropriate to grant the request submitted and remove the South Carolina Forestry Commission from this docket. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 10 is in docket number 2019-290WS. This is a motion by Blue Granite Water Company to finalize a deferral amount and establish a rider for recovery of certain expenses.
With regard to agenda item 10, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission approve Blue Granite Water Company's motion to finalize deferral amount and establish a rider for recovery. The Office of Regulatory Staff has reviewed the deferral balance and surcharge calculations and finds them to be materially correct. The rider surcharge shall be 1.3985% for water territory number 1, 0.4403% for water territory number 2, and 6.5869% for consolidated sewer. The company shall provide notice to customers, which was included in the company's December the 20th, 2022 filing in the first billing where the rider is included on customers' bills. Further, the company shall provide a semi-annual report detailing the amount collected under the rider, the remaining amount to be collected, and any update to the date by which recovery under the rider will be completed. The semi-annual report shall be as of June the 30th and December 31st, and the report shall be due within 45 days of June 30 and December 31st. Further, the company shall file a final report when the deferral amount has been collected. I further move that the clerk's office attach charts reflecting the impact to an average customer's bill to this directive. So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston?
I have previously recused myself in Blue Granite items. This is a continuation of those I've
Correct.
recused
You
myself,
you
so I
recused in this
Yes,
document,
ma'am, I am.
and we
Thank
will
you.
reflect that you are not voting. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston. Oh, excuse me, I just said that, recused. Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye, the motion carries.
Item number 11 is in docket number 2022-370WS. This is a request by CSWR South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, for approval of an agreement regarding the operation of utility treatment facilities with Clearwater Solutions, LLC, for waiver of notice and hearing and for confidential treatment of the agreement.
Commissioners, we've heard the item identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Chair Belser?
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request for confidential treatment of the agreement between CSWR, South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, and Clearwater Solutions, LLC. CSWR-SC also requested that the commission grant its request for waiver of notice and hearing related to its agreement with Clearwater Solutions, LLC. The Office of Regulatory Staff raised two areas of concern through its review of the agreement. ORS identified that the costs for the agreement are allocated by number of water plants. This would result in smaller systems by customer count receiving the same cost as those with higher customer counts. Number two, ORS determined that some of the costs are allocated to a non-regulated entity. ORS requested that the commission grant its request for reservation of its right to review and challenge any expenses and allocation of any expenses related to the agreement in any subsequent general rate proceedings. Therefore, I move that the commission approve the agreement between CSWR-SC and Clearwater Solutions with the understanding that parties may review and challenge any expenses and allocation of any expenses related to the agreement in any subsequent rate proceeding as CSWR-SC is requesting the waiver of notice and or hearing related to this agreement. Subject to this reservation of right for all parties in a subsequent rate proceeding, the request of CSWR-SC for waiver of hearings is granted by the Commission. I further note that the company's request for waiver of notice is denied. The company shall provide notice to customers informing them of the improved agreement between CSWR-SC and Clearwater Solutions and the services which Clearwater Solutions will be performing. Customers should be advised why Clearwater personnel will be performing services in SCWR-SC's service territory. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston?
as an abundance of caution, I worked under contract with Clearwater for a few months in 2019 through early 2020, something like that. So I'm recusing myself from this particular item.
Commissioner Caston is recused. Commissioners, any further discussion? Commissioner Williams, I just would ask for some clarification with regard to the notice to the customers of the agreement. Is it sufficient that the company provide that as a bill insert?
That sounds appropriate to me.
Okay.
Would you like to make that a no?
I just would like for them to be able to do it in the most economical manner possible that provides appropriate notice.
Should I'll amend my motion to say, with the understanding that, sorry, shall provide notice via the most economic manner possible.
That's good. However they deem appropriate, if that's an option, I just think it would be good, so. And the way it states, I suppose without being there, I was just asking the question. I don't know that the motion needs to be amended, but it can be if you want to.
I'll amend it.
Okay. So that it would now read that, notice, shall provide notice to customers informing them of the agreement, and the services at the end of that, whatever that sentence was, in the most economical manner possible.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? I would note that I was absent from the hearing on the application for this company to acquire these systems in South Carolina. That was in a separate docket. Because I was absent from the hearing, I was disqualified from voting on that. There is no conflict that I see with participating on this item or the other item that is coming before us related to CSWRSC, so I will be participating on this. We'll move to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams on the amended motion.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 12 appears in docket number 2022-403G. This is a request for approval of a service agreement and a transportation agreement for the transport of various amounts of natural gas between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and the University of South Carolina at the following facilities: East Energy Facility at 801 Henderson Street, South Energy Facility at 1323 Whaley Street, and West Energy Facility at 300 Main Street.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. Commissioners, we've heard agenda item 12 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas?
I move that the commission approve the service agreement and transportation agreement for transport of various amounts of natural gas between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and the University of South Carolina pertaining to the following facilities: East Energy Facility, 801 Henderson Street, South Energy Facility, 1323 Whaley Street, and West Energy Facility, 300 Main Street. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 13 is in docket number 2011-395WS, which is Defusky Island Utility Incorporated's application for approval to enter into a loan agreement with Truist Bank.
With regard to agenda item 13, is there a motion?
Chair Belzer, I'd like to
Commission-
make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. On December 13th, 2022, Defusky Island Utility Company, Inc. filed an application for approval to enter into a loan agreement with Truist Bank for refinancing of $3,750,000 with an initial term of 120 months. The company stated that DIUC will use proceeds from the proposed loan from Truist to refinance the balances of its existing loan with Truist and for corporate purposes, including capital improvements. The company anticipates the refinancing will result in a debt-equity ratio of about 48.8% to 51.2% after anticipated capital additions are completed with proceeds from the loan. The Office of Regulatory Staff and the Department of Consumer Affairs have each had the opportunity to make comments in this docket. ORS stated no position on the application, but stated it reserved all rights to review in a general rate case any loan agreement entered by DIUC for reasonableness and prudency and the effects on customers of any loan agreement. I move that the Commission approve DeFusky Island Utility Companies, Inc.'s application to enter into the loan agreement with Truist Bank with terms stated in their application. Further, in a general rate case or other applicable rate proceeding, this loan agreement may be reviewed for reasonableness and prudency and for the effects on customers. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 14 involves a request for the South Carolina Office of Regulatory Staff to investigate and to provide a report to the Commission related to any outages and blackouts during the December 2022 winter storm in Duke Energy Carolinas LLC's and Duke Energy Progress LLC's service territories.
With regard to agenda item 14, as identified by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have a motion.
Commissioner Irvin.
Thank you. Pursuant to South Carolina Code Section annotated 58-3-200, the Commission requests that the Office of Regulatory Staff conduct an inspection and examination of any outages and rolling blackouts during the December 2022 winter storm in the service territories of Duke Energy Carolinas and Duke Energy Progress, and that the Office of Regulatory Staff provide a report to the Commission detailing ORS's findings, conclusions, and recommendations resulting from the inspection and examination. Further, the Commission requests that the inspection and examination investigate following. 1, the causes of any outages and rolling blackouts. 2, communication from the companies with customers, the media, and any and all regulatory bodies, including but not limited to the South Carolina Public Service Commission, South Carolina Office of Regulatory Staff, FERC, and or any other state or federal agencies, either before, during, or after the rolling blackouts or outages began. 3, the role, if any, of SEEM, capital SEEM. 4, any lessons learned. 5, areas for improvement, if any. 6, any additional areas which the Office of Regulatory Staff deems appropriate to explore with regard to any outages or rolling blackouts during the December 22 winter storm Elliott. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair, may I ask a question of Commissioner Irvin?
Vice Chair Powers.
Commissioner, thank you for your motion. I'm assuming that the companies likely have all of this information available in some form already, and that this request would not be a situation that's going to create a lot of work for the company or a cost to the ratepayer, although I see where it's going to create work for ORS and for us, but do you feel that it's fair to say that a lot of this information should be on hand?
Yes, I do believe it is on hand. In fact, the companies have already reported to the North Carolina Utilities Commission on these rolling blackouts that affected North Carolina ratepayers and give them detailed information concerning these very same items that are contained in our motion today. And it should not create a hardship, but we need to learn from this experience. I don't want to prejudge the matter because, you know, I haven't heard their explanation yet, but it was most unfortunate timing for ratepayers to have to suffer through Christmas holiday without electrical power. And sadly, it resulted in at least 2 deaths. Gentleman was on an oxygen machine, and when the power went off, he couldn't transfer over to a temporary machine, and according to reports, he died in his own home. He's an elderly gentleman, as I understand it. There was another instance where an elderly gentleman went out to fix broken pipes and apparently fell and died. I think the coroner's already asked for cause of death finding. But these, these are very serious matters when hundreds of thousands of people have to go without power, and apparently no notice was given prior to the rolling blackouts. Had notice been given to the ratepayers, they could have perhaps made other plans to either find a shelter or use a generator or whatever else they could do. But according to the explanation was given to the North Carolina Commission, there were no notice from the company. And so we need to learn from this experience so that this doesn't happen again.
Thank you for that explanation. I certainly support your motion.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
The chair votes aye, the motion carries.
Item number 15 is in docket number 2022-358W, which is the request for approval of a contract for billing, payment receiving, customer service, and coordination services between CSWR South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC, and Nitor Billing Services, LLC, along with a request for confidential treatment of the agreement.
Commissioners, we've heard item 15 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston?
By order of number 2022-834, the Commission approved the sale of assets and transfer of facilities, territories, and certificates of public convenience and necessity for Total Environmental Solutions Incorporated, AAA Utilities Incorporated, Hamilton Haynes Waterworks and Hyde Park Waterworks Incorporated to CSWR, South Carolina Utility Operating Company, LLC. Pursuant to the approval, the Commission is to be notified within 2 weeks of the completion of the closing of the acquisitions. The order also provided that the closing on the acquisitions of these utilities could not proceed until Commission approved of any and all third-party contracts, including the customer service contract with Nitor Billing Services, LLC. I move that the Commission grant the company's request for confidential treatment of the agreement between CSWR SC and Nitor Billing Services, LLC. I further move that the Commission approve the contract for billing, payment receiving, customer service, and coordination services between CSWR South Carolina Utility Operating Company and Nitor Billing Services, LLC, conditioned upon completion of or compliance with the following. 1, CSWR SC shall provide the Commission and ORS with copies of the company's bill adjustment policy, denial of service and discontinuance policy, and deferred payment plan policy, which comport with the Commission's regulations within 30 days of closing on the acquisitions of the utilities. CSWR SC shall develop a written process of handling customer complaints, which includes a provision where unsatisfied customers will be advised of their right to contact ORS, which will be published on CSWR SC's website and be provided to such customers in response to any customer complaint received from such customers. This written process shall be provided to the Commission and ORS within 30 days of closing on the acquisitions of the utilities. And 3, as part of conducting its sewer-only customer validation process, CSWR-SC shall formalize a practice and procedure to routinely survey and audit situations where an occupant of a property using or receiving service without applying or paying for service, where an in-person visits to the property are conducted in order to ensure the utility is receiving payment for services being provided, and ensures that the occupant does not receive a large, unaffordable makeup bill for the period between when occupancy occurs and when application is made for sewer service. This practice and procedure shall be provided to the Commission and ORS within 30 days of closing on the acquisition of the utilities. Number 4, CSWR-SC shall confirm to the Commission and ORS that the identity of client's print mail service, as referenced in Section 3.1 of Appendix B of the service agreement, is InfoSend within 10 days of this order. If InfoSend is not client's print mail service, as referenced in Section 3.1 of Appendix B, then CSWR-SC shall provide the identity of that entity within 10 days of this order. And item 5, CSWR-SC shall advise ORS as to whether or not a contract exists between CSWR-SC and the entity identified in Section 4 above as client's print mail service. If a contract exists, CSWR-SC shall provide that contract to ORS within 10 days of the date of this order so that ORS can take any action it may deem necessary. If a contract does not exist, CSWR-SC shall provide a detailed explanation to ORS as to why a contract does not exist within 10 days of this order so that ORS can take any action it may be deemed necessary. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin. Didn't hear you, sir. Are you on mute? Got a thumbs up there. That's an aye vote and a nod. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
I vote aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 16 appears in docket number 2022-254E. This is a request from the Office of Regulatory Staff for confidential treatment of the corrected direct testimony and exhibits of Donald Shane Hyatt and the direct testimony of Aaron K. Rabin. Staff recommends that this item be carried over.
Item 16 is carried over.
Madam Chair, that completes the utilities agenda before the Commission today. So moving on to the motor carrier agenda, items numbered 1 through 10 are requests for Class C and Class E certificates. Staff recommends that items 1 through 10 be taken together, and I will review them for the Commission. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2022-385T, which is the application of Sunshine Taxi LLC for a Class C taxi certificate. Item number 2 is in docket number 2022-386T. This is the application of Knox Transportation and Logistics LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 3 is in docket number 2022-387T, which is the application of Professional Med Transport Services LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 4 is in docket number 2022-388T, which is the application of Benjamin at Your Service LLC for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 5 is in docket number 2022-392T, which is the application of Superior Cab LLC for a Class C taxi certificate. Item number 6 is in docket number 2022-393T. This is the application of Happy Fleet Transport Solutions LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 7 is in docket number 2022-396T, which is the application of Southern Comfort Coach LLC for a Class C charter bus certificate. Item number 8 is in docket number 2022-400T, This is the application of Defusky Life LLC for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 9 appears in docket number 2018-399T, which is the application of First Priority Incorporated for a Class C stretcher van certificate. And item number 10 is in docket number 2022-391T. This is the application of Palmetto Specialty Transfer LLC for a Class E household goods certificate.
Mr. Scarborough, could you, check the docket number on agenda item 9?
Yes. Oh, thank you. 2022-399T.
Thank
Correct.
you.
It's not 2018, it's 2022-399T.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard items 1 through 10 on the transportation agenda identified by Mr. Scarborough. Do I hear a motion?
Chair Belzer?
Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Thank you. I move that the commission approve the applications for Class C and Class E certificates in items numbers 1 through 10 as listed by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Carolee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. Motion carries.
Item number 11 appears in docket number 2018-369T. This is the request of Bryant Peterson, doing business as B&F Taxi Services, to amend Class C taxi certificate number 9410 to read B&F Taxi Transportation Party Bus and Car Rental LLC.
Commissioners, we've heard Mr. Scarborough identify agenda item 11. Do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request of Bryant Peterson, doing business as B&F Taxi Services, to amend Class C taxi.
Commissioner, I need to ask you to get a little closer to the microphone, please.
I'm
sorry.
sorry about that. Madam Chair,
Thank you.
I move that the commission grant the request of Bryant Peterson, doing business as B&F Taxi Services, to amend Class C taxi certificate number 9410 to read B&F Taxi Transportation Party Bus and Car Rental LLC. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 12 is in docket number 2022-233T, which is a request of Global Logistics Care LLC for a 6-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to agenda item 12, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Vice Chair Powers?
I move the commission grant the request of Global Logistics Care LLC for an extension of time until July 12th, 2023, to comply with commission rules and regulations. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Vice Chair Powers. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 13 appears in docket number 2022-287T. This is a request of Medcar Transportation LLC for a 3-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to transportation agenda item 13, is there a motion?
Chair Belzer?
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Medcar Transportation LLC for an extension of time until April 12th, 2023, to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carolee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Carolee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 14 is in docket number 2022-201T, which is a request of Neighbor to Neighbor Transport Services, LLC, for an additional 3-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to agenda item 14, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston?
I move that the commission grant the request of Neighbor to Neighbor Transport Services LLC for an extension of time until April 12th, 2023, to comply with commission rules and regulations. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Justin Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Item number 15 is in docket number 2022-282T. This is the request of Let's Ride LLC for a 6-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to transportation agenda item 15, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams?
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request of Let's Ride LLC for an extension of time until July 12, 2023 to comply with commission rules and regulations. So move, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Justin Williams,
I vote aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. Appreciate everyone's attendance today. Our next business meeting is at a rescheduled time of Wednesday. What's the date? Wednesday, January 18th at 4 p.m. So with that, we'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you very much.